of the Steve Sanchez Show. Good to see you both. Erin, this report that just came out says that there is a belief that they are literally tracking every single American. How concerning is that to you?
Massively concerning. Every parent, grandparent, child that's on TikTok, get off. Have everyone you know get off of TikTok. It is a tool of the Chinese Communist Party to spy on us. The parent company is a Chinese national company by the name of ByteDance. And as we know, in a communist country, the government can come in and take this data and take this information from you anytime they want. They are watching us every time we are on that app. There are allegations that they can get into your phone and into other programs, devices, perhaps bank accounts. Additionally, why this is so damaging to our children is the algorithms and the programming that they are pushing out is not educational program about math or science. They're pushing often the trans agenda. They are pushing silly dance moves that are so uneducational and banal that our children become numb. But in China, on their similar platform that's just like TikTok, it's pushing math and science competitions and things that are educational and people that are excelling in academics. So they are really trying to infiltrate our country through our phones, and everyone should be terrified.
Absolutely. Steve, you know the thing that I find unbelievable? Over and over again, we have guests on this show, lawmakers, government officials, and they'll say, we need to take a tough stand on China. And then it's like, hey, look at this video we did on TikTok. I mean, I don't get it. You can't, on the one hand, say we should stand up to China, and then on the other hand say, let's make a video on TikTok and give us all their data. When are we going to get the message as a country that they are not our friend? They are our enemy. They are literally trying to track us and collect data on every single American. Mom, and you said just a minute ago, get off TikTok, right? How many other moms, when you mention that to them, just say, oh, don't worry about it, it's no big deal, or do that? I just don't get it, because when I mention it to people, they kind of act like you're a black helicopter, and I'm like, they don't. There seems to be a disconnect, and people just don't think that it's a big deal. Oh, I'm not a big enough important person. It's not about importance. It's about the ability for them to build a profile on every single American and have that ability to track you and track all of us.
It's not just the tracking, it's what our children see. But I say this time and time again, the days of passive parenting are over. Whether it's in our schools, we need to see what books they're reading, what programs they're studying in school, what projects they're having to work on, what books they're reading. And these apps like TikTok fall into that category as well. We can no longer passively parent our children. Our computers and devices are not going to do it for us. They're actually going to hurt our children. And that's why it's so important for every parent out there to wake up. Oftentimes when I'm facing issues that I see online, I ask other moms at school and they say, oh, I didn't see that. Because a lot of people are busy working. I understand that, and I'm aware because of the work that I do with you guys, but it's really scary, and every parent really has to wake up and realize it's not just that they're stealing your data. That's terrible, but the messages that they're sending to our children on social media are not age appropriate. They might not agree with your family values, and they're very, very dangerous. So we really have to wake up and realize that we are at war with China. It's just not guns and bombs. It's cyber war, and it's going on right now. And if we don't act soon, thank God we had President Trump to start letting people know, but if we don't act soon, we're going to have a major problem as a country.
You know, Steve, you take calls every day. When you talk to folks, how big of an issue does this come up? I get it. We got an election coming up, inflation, crime. On the left, they're talking about abortion. I just don't feel as though the threat from China militarily, economically, is something that rises to a level that actually people care about.
No, you're absolutely right. I mean, you know, look around. Pretty much every product and service, even the iPhones that we use, are made in China. So I think what's happened is we've become desensitized to the whole situation.
Erin, Steve, we're just getting warmed up. Coming up next is our Friday tradition, the battle of the brains, the war of the wits, the clash of the cranium. It's our company quiz, and it's next. Stay with us. Sports world with baseball playoffs, football in full swing, and basketball and hockey just underway, but none of those sports can match the intensity, the passion, and the excitement of the company quiz. We bring back in Erin Elmore and Steve Sanchez to play. The good news for both of you is that Lindsay's off today. You're both guaranteed no worse than a second place finish. So here we go. Let's get started. Question 1. On Wednesday, President Biden announced that he was tapping into the Strategic Petroleum Reserve for 15 additional million barrels of oil to drive down the price of gas. He also called out domestic oil companies and encouraged them to immediately ramp up their production. There is a professional sports franchise called the Oilers. Where are they located? A, Oklahoma City, B, Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, C, Anchorage, Alaska, or D, El Paso, Texas.
There we go. Sorry.
That's right. We got 2 Bs. You're both on the board early. Yes, that's right. The Edmonton Oilers are an NHL dynasty, or team, rather. They had a dynasty in the 1980s, winning 5 Stanley Cups in 7 years. But what's that?
Now there's not enough diversity in hockey. Have you heard?
We'll have to cover that next week. On to question 2. The credibility of the FBI continues to erode with whistleblowers' revelations, further providing further evidence of how politicized they have become. A far cry from the early days of the Bureau under the leadership of J. Edgar Hoover. Hoover was named the first ever director of the Bureau of Investigation, the FBI's predecessor. How old was Hoover at the time of his appointment? A, 38, B, 43, C, 29, or D, 33. Steve with the C, Erin with the B. Steve definitely knows his historical figures. That puts him up on the board. That's right. Hoover was 29. And a quirky little tidbit for you right now. When Hoover passed away in 1972, President Biden was, you guessed it, 29 years old. Oh. All right, question 3. Liz Truss just resigned as the Prime Minister of Great Britain after a shocking 44 days on the job. Here's the question. Listen carefully. Of the following choices, which is the only one to last longer than Truss's time in office? A, the CNN Plus app. B, Anthony Scaramucci's time as White House Director of Communications. C, Britney Spears' marriage to Jason Alexander. Or D, Kim Kardashian's marriage to Chris Humphries. Well, we flipped that real quick. A for Steve, D for Erin. We found her strength, Kardashian knowledge. She is absolutely correct. The answer is Kim Kardashian's marriage to Chris Humphries, which actually lasted a whopping 72 days. CNN Plus, by the way, went belly up after just 32 days. Scaramucci lasted 11 full days in the job, and Britney Spears pulled her plug on that marriage after 3 days. All right, we're tied back again at 2-2 going into question 4. Actor Mark Wahlberg announced this week that he's leaving California and relocating to Nevada to pursue a better life for him and his family. He is just the latest celebrity to flee the deteriorating state. But before he became an actor, Wahlberg burst onto the scene as a rapper in the 1990s under the moniker of Marky Mark. What was the name of his backup group? A, the Funky Bunch, B, the Boy Toys, C, the Body Hotties, or D, the Hip Hop Mafia? I'll be really upset if Erin Elmore gets this wrong. And she did not, and neither did Steve Sanchez. That's right, we're going 3-3 the tie. It was the Funky Bunch, but before long, as we all know, Marky Mark dropped the Y and just became Mark Wahlberg. That's right, and now he is just making a ton of movies and a lot of money. All right, we go into question 5, tied at 3. We're just 18 days away from election night on November 8th, which will be a busy night for news anchors. Myself, Lindsay, will be up in New York doing a lot of coverage for Newsmax. But one unlucky anchor at another network will have to postpone a birthday celebration to put in a long night at the anchor desk. Whose birthday is November 8th? A, David Muir, B, Norah O'Donnell, C, Wolf Blitzer, or D, Lester Holt? Well, not only does Erin Elmore know her Kardashians, she knows her news host birthdays. It is David Muir, the host of ABC's World News Tonight. He will turn 49 on election night. That's great, Erin. I cannot believe the wealth of knowledge you know. Congratulations, a winner again on the company quiz. Thanks, Steve, for playing. You did come in a solid second place, which you should be very proud of.
Yes.
Thank you.
You bet. All right, guys, have a great weekend. Thanks for playing.